This is gonna be a high level tutorial, a short tutorial on how to set up your computer to run StateSpaceEcon Julia package on your particular system. Here, we're not gonna go into specific details that might be dependent on your particular operating system. So it's going to be a very high level overview. By the end of this tutorial, you will know where to find our source code, the StateSpaceEcon source code. Um, I'll show you how to report issues that you might find with the package. I'll also tell you about the software that you need to have on your computer in order to run the package. And finally, we have prepared some tutorials, and I'll show you how to get those tutorials onto your system and run them. So first, I'd like to just quickly show you where the code is. Um, So it's hosted under the Bank of Canada GitHub account, and as you can see, you have quite a few different repositories, and StateSpaceEcon package is right here. You can sign up for the GitHub, so you just need to create an account. Once you create your account, you can just go to one of these repositories, open up issues, and create a new issue. Um, Provide the title, the description, and just submit it. Um, okay, let's start with the software that you will need. So there are three big pieces of software that you will need. First is the Julia programming language. Second is a version control software called Git. And finally, you'll also need a development environment. So we recommend Visual Studio Code. Um, it's the software that I'm using right now. Once you download Visual Studio Code, you'll need the Julia extension. It's available under extensions. If you just type in Julia, it comes up here, the top result. You can go there and just install it. As for the other pieces of software, you can go to their official websites and download the version that's compatible with your operating system. So here's it for Git, for Visual Studio Code, and Julia. Regarding Julia, you can either get the 1.5, this the current stable version, or the LTS version. Both of these should work just fine. So once you have the software installed, um, you can open up the Visual Studio Code. You'll need to open up a terminal here, so no terminal, so a terminal comes up at the bottom. So since you have installed Git, the following command should work. Just go to your particular folder where you'd like to download the tutorials to, and just paste this command, click enter, and it will download clone the tutorials repository. Once it starts, once it finishes cloning, you can see that docsecon.jl folder will appear here. Once it appears here, you can add that folder to your VS Code environment by just clicking here and clicking open. Once you do that, the docsecon folder structure will appear in this pane. Our tutorials are located in the source folder under tutorials. So currently we have the time series tutorial and a Smeth's routers tutorial. Both tutorials are organized in a very similar manner, and to run them, just open up one of these main.jl files, and I'll show you how to run them later. But first, we need to do some additional setup. Once you've cloned the docsecon folder, you need to open up Julia. Just write Julia and click enter. Once you do that, a Julia REPL will appear. Once it appears, you need to do a close square bracket in the Julia REPL. Once you do that, it opens up a package mode, as it's called in Julia. So here you need to actually activate the docsecon folder. So you need to restrict the environment to docsecon folder. I've already done that, but if you have v1 point something, just the version number, you need to put activate dot. Once you do that, it will switch to docsecon package. Of course, for that to happen, you need to first go to docsecon inside and then click Julia. So once you're here, you can click instantiate. You can write instantiate, enter. Once you do that, it will install all of the package dependencies that are specified for this particular docsecon. Just a quick note, this instantiate command, the first time you run it, it might take some time for all the prerequisites to download and build. However, the second time you do it, it shouldn't take that much time at all. Let us try the second time. So as you could see, it was pretty quick. Okay, at this stage, you're ready to run one of these main files. So let's open up the main.jl file here. As you can see, there are sections that are separated by these double hashtags. So this is our very first section. Here you're even given some commands that you can key combinations that you can use to execute the tutorial. So for example, here we can just press shift enter to run the cell. A cell is a section separated by these double hashtags. So I just run shift enter. So first time you run the using command where you're loading the package. The first time you run it, it will take a bit more time, but the second time you run it, it shouldn't take as much. So for me, it just loaded everything right away. Now in this cell, again, I just put my cursor here, press shift enter, and I've got my model loaded. So if I put M here, it's the model file, 41 variables, 7 shocks, etc., etc. So this M file, it loads this SW07 model file, and if you want to explore the model file, you can click here and just see the specification of the model. So in the same manner, you can just continue with the tutorial, do it step by step. If you encounter any problems again at this point, you can just go to our GitHub page, fill out an issue, and we will get back to you. So, as a quick overview, first, this is where we're located. This is our GitHub page. In order to run our package, you need these three pieces of software: Julia programming language, Git, Visual Studio Code with the extension. Then you can clone the docsecon repository. You need to instantiate it. By that I mean install all the prerequisite packages to run these tutorials. After that, open up the docsecon folder, go to tutorials, open up one of these main files under tutorials, and start exploring the code. Great. Thank you very much, and feel free to reach out to us if there are any further questions or issues. Thank you.